Yo, wagwan. Tish your boy, Jeton, Legendary. And you're probably wondering, Jadon, why you on a half-naked human in the middle of all them? That's because I have a guide for you today. The first TWINK guide of Cataclysm. We got the level 19 road. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification bell shows you people join the legendary clans, but they're going to become legendary. Now, the most important thing to twinking a character, believe it or not, is not the gear, but freezing thine level, which I have not done now that I'm looking. So I'm going to make that happen real quick. So for Alliance, you're going to want to make your way up to the keep, but differently from Wrath Lynch King, instead of behind the chair, it's on the side here. Okay, that's this little room right up on the right. And he'll be over here instead of over there. Talk to him, and for 10 gold, you can freeze your level.
See you around.
Okay, and then boom. Here. Alright, so for Horty, it changes quite a bit. Okay, for Horty, you're still going to be going somewhat to the same zone, but instead of the big green hut, it's going to be this big brownish reddish hut. You have to make your way in. You got to go up these stairs. Okay, you got to go up those stairs, and once you make it all the way to the top of these said stairs, there's the man right there. I wish to no longer gain experience, and for 10 gold, you can freeze your level. Now that you have frozen your level, it comes down to gear. Okay, what you gonna be rocking, how you gonna be rocking it. All right, starting off with number one, we got the helmet. This is only gonna cost you about, what is it, like 500, I think, gold, 600 gold. So you should be getting this right away. But if you, for whatever reason, cannot get your hands on that immediately, you can always go for the Flying Tiger goggles. And if you just want swag purposes, Lucky Fishing Hat and or Weather Beaten Fishing Hat. Back in the day on trial accounts, we used to do the Weather Beaten Fishing Hat because for trial twinking, you can only get up to 100 on your profession. And engineering just simply wasn't good enough all the time. So a lot of us would go with the Weather Beaten Fishing Hat, especially a lot of us healers. And for those who don't know, a lot of my trial twinking was a Holy Paladin. So this was a decent helmet to get, you know what I'm saying, a little extra spirit never hurt to get that mana regeneration up. Anyways, for the neck piece, you're either going to be getting Boom or Bam, okay? Horty or Alliance. Best neck piece since Vanilla for a level 19 twink, okay? 6 agility, 2 stamina, you can't beat it. For shoulders, we have Shadowfang and Serpent, okay? You're going to be wanting to get your hands on the Shadowfang Spolders, which come from a quest from the new revamped Shadowfang Keep. For that extra 4 crit. If you don't really care about the 4 crit and you want more damage, then you're going to want the Serpent's Shoulders for that 2 extra agility, which will net you, what, like 4 attack power, I think? 3-4 attack power. And then you're going to be grinding your way up to Stained Shadowcraft Spolders. For the back piece, we got the Inherited Cape of the Black Baron, which is going to cost you 500-600 gold. If for whatever reason you cannot get your hands on that, you're going to want to grind out to get your hands on the Terminless Cloak of the Bandit. If you can't get Bandit to drop, at least hold on to Terminless Cloak of the Monkey. But all in all, this is the cloak you're going to want. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to get 600 gold though. You know what I'm saying? It's only 600 if I'm not mistaken. My math could be way off, or not my math, but my memory could be way off. It could be more. I mean, it ain't that much though, because you know, we hitting level 85 now. Baby gold is going to be just a little easier to get your hands on. Okay, next up we got Gloom Shroud armor. And or Armor of the Fang. You're going to be grinding your way up to the Stained Shadowcraft Tunic. Unless you prefer, you know, you'll have a lot less stamina, but you'll get more agility and that crit. Only problem with the Gloom Shroud is, it is a random drop that only drops off of the officers in the new revamped Shadowfang Keep, which means the drop rate is horrendously low. And if you do find it in an auction house, it's probably going to cost you quite a freaking bit. Okay. Until then, though, you get your hands on the Armor of Fang, which has dang near the same stats. You get a little bit more stamina, but you get no crit. But if you just want heavy stamina and a little bit of hit, I'm saying that's going to be your Stained Shadowcraft Tunic. Okay. Next up for wrist, we got only one. Racers of the Ancient Grove. Okay. They're pretty much the only bracers at this level worth any dang thing. A lot of the good stuff come through 20 plus, especially with a couple of the revamps to Black Phantom Deeps. You get much better items. So, for now, that's about the best you can get. I mean, it's not bad. It is 5 stamina, 3 agility, but everything else is way worse and about just as hard to get. Next up, we got Gloves of the Fang and or metalworking gloves. With the metalworking gloves, you can save time. You can buy them out the auction house. With the Gloves of the Fang, you can save money, time, because these are typically a little bit more expensive, if I remember correctly. I don't know how it's going to be in the modern day of Classic. This is based off of what I used to see back in the actual Cataclysm. So it all depends on your server and where you are. At the time, though, Gloves of the Fang were typically more expensive. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be about the same, because they have lower drop rate, less NPCs that drop it. Okay. Other than that, they're practically the same. A little bit of armor, a little bit more armor on the Gloves of the Fang. You know what I'm saying? I remember grinding for these back in the day. You saw those drop. You was like, yes, sir. Finally, the grind is over. Next up for the belts, we got Vigorous Belt of the Bandit. That's going to be your top dog right there. Okay. But if you can't get it to drop right away, you're going to want of the Wild or of the Monkey. These, just like the cloak, come from the little bag you get every time you finish a dungeon. Okay. Which are great pieces of gear. For your legs, we got Leggings of the Fang. And if you, for whatever reason, just want to take the time to attempt to get them to drop, we got Blackened Defias leggings. Leggings of the Fang got a little bit more armor, and they drop off of a boss, which means they're going to be a whole lot easier to get. A whole lot easier. Blackened Defias leggings, if I'm not mistaken, at this point of Cataclysm, drops off of like 2, maybe 3 NPCs inside the entire dang dungeon, with a very low drop rate. For boots, we got Van Cleef's boots. These will give you a great amount of agility. Problem is, drop is awful. And if you want to control the drop just a little better, you're going to need to become an engineer and get to about 450, I believe, and get them out of some lunkers. So realistically, kind of a waste, but if you just want them for a very rare transmog, there they are. Okay. They're like the bandit boots, but more of a greenish, and they're more flared out. I'm pretty sure you could get some boots at like level 60 though that look just like them and way easier to drop because they're just greens. Then we got the second best option. That's your Cobrain's boots. If you want something that gives off a little bit more crit, there you go. Okay. This comes off of a quest in Wailing Caverns. Speaking of Wailing Caverns, you got Foot Pads of the Fang. Okay. A little bit more balanced. I would say this is definitely better for the feral druids. You can get that intellect off on the side. Okay. And then we got Blackened Defias boots. Once again, much like the Van Cleef boots, you could just go for these if you just want the transmog. Although I would have hoped you did that in Wrath of Lich King, because it would have been a whole lot easier. And of course, the best of the best overall will always be the Feet of the Lynx. 8 agility, 5 stamina, but extremely rare drop. Okay, extremely rare drops, especially since a good portion of the NPCs that used to drop it no longer exist. Okay, Feet of the Lynx, that's your champion's boots right there. Next up for rings, we got Bone and Bam. You're either playing as Horde or Alliance. Okay, and then for some secondary options, we got Band of the Foul Strength. This is a Horde only option. Okay, 7 strength, not too bad, not too shabby. And for everybody else, if you're specifically Alliance, you're probably going to either want the Demon Band or try to grind it out for this joint right here, the Dread Pirate Ring. Do them little fishing events in Dalaran, I believe, and see if you could test your luck and get your hands on this, which will net you also an extra 5 what is it called? 5 extra experience. And of course, this goes to your collection, so you can use it on all of your characters. I love that Blizzard did that. Makes it so dang universal. Okay, you ain't gotta be sending items through the mail anymore like back in the day. Okay. And for trinkets, there are lots of options. You can go with the Swift Hand of Justice, 2 of those to get some extra haste. You can go with the insignias or the regular blue insignias. Well, these are pretty cheap for honor, so you can cop them with some honor and get your hands on both of those. And then, of course, your old school Arena Grand Master. It don't get no better than that, of course. Y'all know me, I'm more of a defensive type of player, so I always keep boom, bam. And for weapons, okay, for your heavy handers, you're going either low level subtlety or low level combat, so you can spam Sinister Strike. The champion is still here. It's still a champion. Horrible drop rates, crazy gold cost, but there's a reason for that. It is still the best DPS and damage output. Okay. If you don't want to take the time to do that, then you could always grind it out to get the Dalrin's Sacred Charge. And if you just so happen to luck up, the Skeletal Club is still pretty dang nice as well. Okay. Now, if you plan on running daggers, or if you're going to ambush spec and you want something heavy in your offhand, something nice and light in the main hand, your Sentinel Dagger and Scout for Horde, Sentinel for Alliance. These are still pretty dang good. You could go with boa options. Okay. PvP joint, your PvE joint. And for any dual daggers, like myself here right now as we are assassin. Okay, Scout in the main hand. And for your offhand, you're gonna want Tail Spike for everybody else. Stillwater's Dagger for Horde. Comes off of a quest. Okay. Of course, if you got the boa options, put the boa options on. Though not as DPS. They don't boast as much DPS as the what's-names. They're still very good options. Or if you want something a little more well-rounded, put that in the main hand. Put this in the offhand because it's a little faster. Okay. Oops. I'm gonna mix the dang weapons up. So, 170 in the main, 150 in the offhand. And for your stat sticks, you're going to want, for Horde, you're going to want Bow of the Ire. Very healthy stat stick, 2 agility, 3 stamina, 1 crit. And for Alliance, you get this House Wren crossbow. Not the greatest ever, but I mean, it is one of the few items with stat sticks that Alliance can get that doesn't have strength on it. Horde got a whole bunch of freaking agility joints with crit and stamina. Alliance has this. Everything else gives strength. Anything that comes close to this is strength. So, for Alliance, boom. There you go. And now, for the knick-knack paddywhacks, as we already know, I always do this, you know what I mean? Boom. The knick-knack paddywhacks. That is your little trinkets, your little offhands, your little potions and all that. Starting off with number 1, we got the Rough Copper Bomb. This is a good little interrupt here. Okay, you use the kick, you got a little bomb. Okay, it'll incapacitate somebody for 1 second, which is a decent little interrupt. Or as I like to do, you know what I'm saying, you could hit a fool with a gouge, restart the fight a little bit. You know, that's interrupt number 1. Hit him with the Rough Copper Bomb. That's interrupt number 2. And then hit him with the kick. That's 3 interrupts if you're fighting the healer. Take them out quick. You know what I mean? Next up, rogues finally get to use their hands on some poisons under level 20. We have instant poison for level 10, dealing 28 nature damage every time it procs. You can put that on both your weapons. For your bandages, you're gonna want some heavy silk bandages. Okay, as you can see, we have 1100 health. These heal for 640. That's gonna be half of your health. Okay. For some extra damage, you could use Elixir of Lesser Agility. Okay, give you 8 healthy agility. You can also pull up to Blood Watch to get those lovely crystals. Okay. Which I will add in my bags after this because I completely forgot about them until now. We have Rumsy Rum Black Label, of course. Classic. Big 15 stamina. Your absolute must, Swiftness Potions. Okay. I just realized there's 2 things I forgot to add. Whoops. And Scroll of Agility 2. Okay. The 2 items I forgot is Healing Potion. Simple as that. 320 health restore. Okay. You gotta have healing potions. I am an advocate potion user when it comes to PvP. And the second item I forgot was Crystal of Ferocity. You get these out of Blood Mist Isles. They're a daily. As long as you're willing to farm up the blood crystals, you'll have those ferocities. It's only 10 AP, but hey, 10 AP gain is better than a 0 AP gain. You feel me? So, you know what I mean? I always use these on my twin characters, always. And there's other ones too. You'll see those down the line as I do more of these. Enchantments. We have Enchant Cloak, lesser agility. That will give you 3 agility. Okay, it ain't the most in the world, but it's a whole lot better than having nothing at all. Chest, greater stats, increased by 4. Okay, that's 4 agility, 4 strength, 4 stamina. Much needed. For boots, we got greater agility. Okay, that's 7 big agility on top of your head. You feel me? So more AP gains, more crit gain. As you can see, we're at 26%, which is not usually all that possible in the last expansions. Big 15 for the freaking gloves. Okay, even more AP, even more crit. For your weapons, we got a lot of options here. We got Crusader, Fiery Weapon, Icy Chill, Life Stealing, okay, and Agility, of course. Now, it all really depends on what you're trying to go with and what you're trying to do with your character. Me personally, I've always loved the procs. That being Fiery Weapon, because it procs so freaking often, and at this level doing extra 40 damage that cannot be eaten. Okay, unless you're fighting a freaking Fire Mage or something, which I'm pretty sure even that wouldn't work at this level because you don't have a shield of any sort. An untouchable constant 40 damage, just kinda unbeatable. Okay, but if you're looking for more raw power, Crusader and agility, I mean, you could go with the classic Icy Chill and Fiery Weapon to act like instant poison and crippling poison, or you could go with Lifesteal for a little bit of extra heal, a little bit of extra defense throughout the fight. It really depends on what you personally are trying to do. Okay, at this level, you do not have access to crippling poison or very many slowing abilities. So me personally, Icy Chill and Fiery Weapon sounds like the perfect duo. Okay, instant poison and crippling. But like I said, it all depends on what you decide to choose. That is why I have multiple options here. Okay, you want to go over Crusader and Agility the old school way? Do you? I mean, Life Stealing and Crusader, Life Stealing Agility, whatever you choose. That's why we got all these options here. Okay. And for bracers, we got Superior Strength or Superior Stamina. Once again, really depends on what you're looking for. Y'all know me. I'm a power fiend, so I'm always going to go with what's going to make the character stronger in terms of damage gains, except for enchantments. Enchantments, I would prefer to go for those things that cannot be stopped by mere armor. That being said, folks, that's everything you're going to need. Okay. Unfortunately, not quite yet. I can't really display the damage of what these characters can do. I have to get the other accounts set up. But once I do, I'll gladly make some videos on that too, if y'all want to see. If not, that's perfectly fine as well. We, after all, do have the armor here. Okay, you now know what you need as a level 19 rogue to go out there and start stunting on people. Okay, and start stunting. All your buffs, everything else, all your gear, all your enchantments, it's all here. Okay, if you ever forget, come on back to this video because it ain't going nowhere. That being said, it has been your boy, Jeton Legendary. If you enjoyed this video, that's good. If you didn't enjoy this video, that's good. Either way, you watched it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, share with your people, join the Legendary Clan, support the channel to become legendary. I'm out.